Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our talk on eco-design and circularity. I'm Olivier Muller, partner with PwC, Sustainability, and I will be joined today by Emmanuelle Henry-Lanier, who is a climate and product portfolio VP for Imerys, and Régis Lavisse, who is a sustainability lead with Microsoft.
Thank you, Olivier. So the topic of today is to better understand eco-design, product-level reporting. Olivier, you're the expert on this roundtable. Can you set the scene for us and share what are the trends on the market when it comes to eco-design and product-level reporting?
I will start with a general comment. We live now in a world of products, technological products, here at VivaTech in particular. But how much do we know about the environmental impact of products as final consumer? I would say not a lot. When we buy, purchase products, usually we don't have the information. And for a company, it's a bit the same, because how much do companies know about the environmental impact of their products, including the full supply chain, including all the different environmental impacts, not only climate change, but water consumption, pollution, etc. That's usually very rare. There are some exceptions, and Emmanuelle will explain how this is dealt with at Imerys, but usually it's very scarce. But you may ask, when is the good time for a company to take into account the environmental impact of products? Usually this is during the design phase. And the design phase is the time when a company is thinking about the new products they will put on the market. Usually this is the moment where approximately 80% of the impacts are determined. Once the product composition is defined, you only have maybe 20% of impacts that may still evolve during production, but most of the impact is really determined during design. And this is what eco-design is about. It's including environmental perspective in the design phase. So there are some companies already doing that. It's progressing, that's the good thing, but still we need to have more of them to be really able to quantify impact. Then there is how a company is speaking about the products to clients, to third parties. And in communication also, there is a lack of knowledge. This discussion between companies and the final consumer is only starting. Maybe at the European level, something which could help enhance this dialogue is regulation. So maybe another acronym I will let you know today is ESPR, European Sustainability Product Regulation. Maybe not as famous as CSRD, but maybe it will increase in popularity in a few years, because this regulation is already in place and has introduced a new notion that is called digital product passport. And this digital product passport may be a game changer, in fact, in the future, because it means that for product categories, gradually increasing, products will need to have their passport, so as we have as individuals, but this passport will explain the impacts of products. So every time you put on the market a specific product, a textile, a battery, and those are maybe the first product categories where this device will be introduced, digital product passport, companies will need to provide the information to their clients. So that's very, very important. And the other thing is the Green Claim Directive that we have in Europe. When companies will have some assertions about marketing claims, they will have to be able to substantiate this claim with a proper calculation explaining why they say maybe their product has a specific characteristics. So to summarize, Régis, I would say as an introduction that eco-design and calculating the environmental impact of product is very important and will become more important with the regulations that we have today coming up, especially in Europe.
Yeah, very clear. So data is scarce. We need more data at product level for better decisions for end consumers, but also all, across all the supply chains for customers. So Emmanuelle, coming to you first, can you introduce Imerys and then share with us what you are doing at Imerys when it comes to eco-design and product level reporting?
Thank you, Régis. Thank you, Olivier. So let's start with a very short introduction of Imerys. So Imerys is a French multinational company, world leader in specialty minerals. And minerals are everywhere. You can have a look around you in the paints, in the carpet, in the plastics, in the paper, so in the automotive, so everywhere. So we are extracting minerals and also manufacturing minerals to provide the suitable performance criteria for our customers. And so we operate around 180 plants around the world, so mining plants and also manufacturing plants. And so we are serving various markets, so from automotive, mobile energy, paint and coating, building, construction products, etc. So you can imagine we are very in upstream of all these product technologies. And so we are the first player to be requested by our end consumer to provide some data around the environmental footprint of our minerals. So we started working on these eco-design approaches back in 2019. And originally, the reason why we decided to launch this program around product sustainability assessment was really to understand where are our impacts, our main impacts, in which product groups, in which countries, in which process line. And the overall objective was really to steer our portfolio towards more sustainable solutions. So to do so, we had to map all the portfolio of Imerys. So we started with a level of granularity that was acceptable because we have really a huge number of products. So we conduct some life cycle assessments thanks to the team software developed by PwC. That was the original objectives, because back in 2019 we had not so much requests from the customers, and then now we are at 75% of coverage in our portfolio, and we are trying to go more in detail, so refine a bit this assessment, be able to really isolate the key reduction levers to be able to eco-design our products. And as you told us, Olivier, that main of the impact are not generated during the conception of the product. It's not exactly true for us, because we are really extracting minerals and transforming the minerals. But what is also important is the way our customers are using our minerals. So we are not only looking at the impact in the production, but also in the use phase of the minerals in the final application. And to do so, we also are working in close collaboration with the R&D team. And so we set another objective, another strategy was to really assess all our new product developments according to sustainability criteria, meaning that it's a systematic assessment. What we call internally NPDs, a new product development, should go through this assessment. And we set a target to have at least 75% of these new products scored as sustainable. That doesn't mean that the other ones are not sustainable. They are more neutral. That means they are not bringing really value regarding sustainability. So that is really the second commitment, and we are really eco-design and life cycle assessment take place in the key decision of the company.
Thank you, Emmanuelle. We see that you are at the beginning of a lot of supply chains with big customers, and so it's very impressive to see the progress that you've made on this to empower also your customers along the supply chain to themselves embrace this life cycle analysis. Olivier, coming back to you, can you share with us, as you work with a lot of customers on this life cycle assessment and live product reporting topic with a lot of customers for a long time, can you share maybe other insights of what you learn from your customers? What are their main needs and expectations?
Well, in fact, based on our experience with clients like Imerys and others, we see that there is a need to first lay the foundation to better understand the impact. And that's maybe a cultural thing, but to be more knowledgeable about supply chains, about how products are used. Because indeed, one thing is to know what we have as a manufacturing company, but depending on how the products are used, the impact can be very different. And this is what we're trying to now cover with our new tool.
Okay, so let's introduce LIM, Lifecycle Impact Manager. Can you tell us more about what this is and what it does?
Yes, in fact, based on our experience and on previous tools that we developed, we have now the possibility to assist our clients as consultants to map completely their supply chains and work on eco-design advice. And the specificity of this tool is based on what we call life cycle assessment, which is a well-known methodology. But we also can cover product carbon footprint, environmental product and loss accounting, which are different ways of addressing the same idea of globalizing external impacts into a measurement which makes sense for the company and its stakeholders. The idea behind LIM is to cross-reference information from company, like activity data, production data, quantity of electricity consumed, pollutants emitted, etc., with external data from well-known databases like EcoInvent to produce a final result, KPIs which are, for instance, developed by the European Union in terms of pollutions, resource depletion, etc. The specificity of this tool that we have specifically worked on is traceability. Because one thing that we think would be very crucial in the future, especially for the Green Claims Directive, is to trace back when you have a result, what are the assumptions? What were the input data that you introduced in your model? And how can you demonstrate that the result is what it is? So this is one feature that we have specifically developed. Another one is to have the possibility to interconnect all sources of information into one unique database. We see that information at the moment is split within companies between different services, supply, waste management, maybe energy consumption, which are different formats, etc., which are very important to consolidate eventually, and maybe also ask information from suppliers. So the point about consolidating and structuring information is key for this operation.
Okay, so a solution to unify data from a lot of heterogeneous data sources and being able to gather all this data, make it consistent. Very clear. Maybe you developed this solution on Microsoft technologies. Can you share with us why you chose Microsoft to develop LIM?
In fact, when we made the decision of redeveloping a tool, we wanted first a tool which was on a SaaS-based mode, because that's really the most convenient to work at several persons in the same time on the same project. But then what we observed with the Microsoft solution was that it was easy to develop. The first thing was that it took us less than 1 year, in fact, to develop the product from the Microsoft Power Apps, which was very useful. And then we also were interested in the possibility to make the data very secure. That's the second point. And the third one was the possibility to evolve. We have now a tool which helps us already to advise our clients. We are hoping to benefit from Copilot in the near future, for instance, to help us make even better interpretations and structuration of the data more convenient.
Thank you, Olivier. So low-code, no-code development, extensibility, and of course enterprise grade with security at the core, data governance, and a lot of AI capabilities to provide more value to your consultants as of today, but to your customers also. Maybe one thing that I would add on that is the interconnection with our own Microsoft first-party solutions. And especially Microsoft Sustainability Manager, which is our solutions to drive sustainability performance for our customers. And we provide this solution, but it doesn't cover life cycle assessment. It doesn't cover what LIM does. So it's really helpful to have those two solutions built on the same technology to share the same data. And basically, the same data can be leveraged to do product level reporting and life cycle assessment, as well as corporate carbon accounting, for example. And as you said also before, the auditability and traceability is key for this. And so it's very important for us at Microsoft. We are a technology company. We work with you as partners, and we really need partners to leverage our technologies. We don't have the expertise that you provide on this specific topic, and we cannot cover all the customer needs with our first-party solution. So it's very key for us to partner with you to better serve together our customers. So maybe let's wrap up. A few words of conclusion, Olivier?
Yes, I wanted maybe to add that we see also some challenges in the way that in the near future this type of activity will develop. First thing is, as a LCA modeler, for instance, we have some observations about complexity of supply chains. We see now more and more products which are developed in different companies, and you need to have a good idea of the full supply chain before representing it as a model. The second point maybe is that more and more products have a digitized part. And in fact, the cloud in itself is a specific and more complex maybe topic than classic industries where you have one site and you can obtain information. But as soon as you have a network, servers, it's a bit more fuzzy and it's more difficult to tackle. A third observation is that once we have circular economy, which is a good thing, we have to think about what is the impact of using recycled material, which is maybe also a methodological question that needs to be addressed, which is something that can be dealt with case by case. And maybe as a company, I see also several challenges. First one is massification of calculation, because with the ESPR regulation I mentioned, a company will not only have to do one or two calculations for iconic products, but they will have to calculate it for all the different SKUs, models that they sell on the market, which is another type of exercise, more data intensive. And also the fact that as a company, you really need traceability. I think, as I said, it's really an important topic.
Yeah. So it can help address the huge complexity of supply chains and also scale the scope of products where companies can bring product level data. Any final remarks?
Just to confirm that our key challenge as industrial company is really this automation of the calculation, using the data that are not necessarily well structured in the company. So we need first to structure our data, then be able to really automatize, to massify the calculation. And another key challenge for us, and also, yes, for us, is to be able to exchange data with in upstream with our suppliers, because we need their data to provide our own data, and also with the customers, in particular where you are in very various market segments. So sometimes you will have to comply with the battery passport for mobile energy, at the same time for construction products. And so just there is no harmonization for the moment of the standards, so it's very complex. So we need tools to fine-tune this and to fit with each of these standards.
Thank you both. Maybe it's time for us to open the floor to the audience and get questions from you. Yeah, I see. Okay.
Hi guys, thanks so much. I'm Tanya. I run a little tech company which helps companies tap into the post-consumer space, the use stage data collection on the primary data level. I'm curious, have you started implementing primary data strategies for the use stage of the life cycle already? What are your challenges, and how soon do you think it will be implemented? Thank you.
Indeed, the use phase is a particular stage within the product life cycle, because there are so many ways of using a specific product that you need to either do a very fine sampling or do some statistics about how people are using the products. So usually we use scenario techniques specifying different types of use, intensive, maybe regular or occasional use, to distinguish and see how this aspect is influencing the overall results. But really that's case by case, depending on each product category. Some are intensive in energy during the use phase, some are not. So it's all depending on the product you're considering.
Yes, it's make our work more complex also, because we are selling some minerals for plastics that are going into automotive. Okay, what are the impact of the mineral that is inside the piece that is in the automotive in the different country? You can imagine that it's just impossible to build this without any database available, and that's already. I think it's the overall challenge and conclusion that we all have in the industry world is that we have not this level of data available yet.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Bhumika and I'm a digital transformation evangelist. So my question is to all three of you. So I will divide my question in three parts. So first of all, I would like to ask that what are the key limitations for adaptation of this particular tool, LIM, that we are talking about? And the second part would be, is this tool industry specific, or how much it is configurable to be adjusted for different industries? And that's it, maybe. These are the two parts. Thank you.
For the second question, indeed the tool is valid for any type of companies. It's really wide in application. Either you're a manufacturing company or service company, in different sectors you can use the tool. The limitations, I would say, are linked to the precision of the result that you want to have as compared to the data you may propose as activity data. And that's a limitation we see with clients at the moment. Sometimes they would like to see very precise details, but they don't necessarily have the information system behind, which makes it possible to be very precise in terms of allocating, for instance, energy to all the products within a plant when you have different products, which is necessary in a way to obtain precise results.
So I guess that as you are focusing on digital transformation, you may have some technical question also. So I think that one of the key challenges that LIM is able to address is to be able to collect data from heterogeneous sources and unify this data. And you said that there are a lot of data out there that needs to be collected to calculate life cycle assessment impacts. And once you've got this, I would say, data foundation, then it unlocks a lot of new use cases. And you mentioned the use of, for example, Copilot and generative AI on this data. as these data are very complex, again coming from heterogeneous sources, it's a very promising field for AI to apply intelligence. One basic use case being being able to chat in natural language with the data without having to run a specific calculation. So you can ask the solution with Copilot sometime in the future, maybe where are the most impact, what are the main critical data quality issues, that kind of stuff. Other questions? Yes.
Hello, thank you very much for your insights. I have a question about the adoption, mainly to Emmanuelle, of those tools. So how is your R&D team using and adopting those eco-design methodologies and tools?
Yes, I think it's important to mention now that only experts are using this tool, but our intention is really to deploy it to non-experts, meaning non-LC experts. So for the moment, I would answer that the R&D team are just sending us the relevant information so we can calculate, run the calculation and do the simulation with their hypothesis. We have designed a platform to let them know more about the results, so they can consult the results and see which minerals compare to another ones, etc. But it's more for consultation for the moment, but our intention is to migrate to another tool, because we use still the previous one, so that was not really easy to deploy to non-expert people. Really to have this collaborative and user-friendly tool for R&D in particular, but also for the people who are in operations. So they are absolutely not expert, but they can test some new processes and just input some data, changing the raw material, changing the electricity, etc. Changing the processes and see how it impacts the results. So that is our challenges for next 2 years.
That's it. Thank you. So thank you for your attention. Maybe.
Yes, and if you want to have some more information about the tool, we have a demo available near the coffee machine behind the wall. So you'll be all welcome to discover the tool. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.